So my parents migrated to this country late 2004, right? And the community that we lived in, even till this day, communities where I've came from, they don't have the correct infrastructure, not just for their growth, but even just for general health conditions, right? It's unsafe, it's unhygienic, and where we're at as a global economy right now, nobody should be living like that. There's us, we have the freedom, we have the luxuries of anything we can imagine. I don't think it is fair us sitting here, and at the same time, it's like we're privileged, we're blessed, and we accept that. I actually started my first business when I was 18. 15 to 18, I was just doing that very, very basic buying and selling lifestyle, right? As a young kid, buying products, selling them, trying to make some money on the side. I was doing that. I was doing that quite consistently as well. And then I was also working for my father's takeaway on weekends while I was 15, 16, so at a very young age. But then when I moved to Manchester, and that's when I started the e-commerce brand, and then I also did some business development towards the back end of 2017, 18 for a pharmaceutical company there. But when I came to Manchester, it was a while before I started the Angels Investment Group. I'd say about a year or two. And then eventually time came, as gradually time went on, in the last 6 months, it's really where it kind of took off, where the switch clicked. The Angels Investment Group is exactly what it says. It's the Angels Investment Group. It's important to me because it is something that I want to achieve as an individual, right? I want to be able to do certain things while I'm here, while I'm present, while I'm active. I want to be able to support those communities, build for those communities, and provide a brighter future for anyone and everyone. And that ultimately leaves me with this organization as a vessel. This is a vessel that's going to allow me to get there. So what we do right now is we source investment opportunities for investors. So those people who don't have the time on their hand and are looking to acquire properties in an aggressive manner, or simply are just starting off in their journey and want to ensure a sustainable long-term future. So the process is very simple. The investor comes to us, we figure out what their criteria is, and then we go and find the opportunities that are suited for them. For a couple of months. From their perspective, they know themselves that it's been on for a significant period of time. Whether they tell us that or not, within their own, what they know, they are still going to be eager to sell and wanting to move on from this because they have had it for that long. So yeah, that's good. It's good that you've seen that because we can use that to our advantage now and just get the best price possible. How long has the commercial unit been vacant for?
God, I think about 5 years.
5 years.
Maybe a bit less, something like that. The owners bought it vacant like this
Right.
at the planning on it and they were going to do it themselves.
Right.
They just decided to be honest.
When was planning granted?
Only in October.
October, right?
Yeah.
So that's another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Right. Okay. These are the commercial units. Right. Okay.
This sick leave's in the plan now.
Right.
For the
Okay.
HMO.
Just to confirm, the planning is just for the HMOs,
Yeah.
not the apartments.
No, it has no planning for the apartments. It's
Right,
just
okay.
tenants HMO.
Okay. This is the only bit upstairs.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. We've got videos and upstairs, so we'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
Okay. Cool, that's fine, that's all from me.
Yeah,
Thank you
no
very much
worries.
for that. We'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Cool, cheers.
Thank you.
See you later, man. Good luck, mate. When I initially started to work for myself by myself, one of the first things that I did was doing door-to-door sales, direct to consumer. That field, what it was it was really in the mud, direct to consumer. The demographic was lower income households in poor council estate areas, so you can only imagine the responses I got. Just the amount of rejection that was faced was very, very significant. It was very direct. There was a lot of swearing, telling me to just go away. It was very common, facing that, which in the beginning it is a little bit daunting. It does get to you. It does make you think, I don't want to do this. It's the worst thing that I could possibly do. But then you have to realize why you're doing it. It was only later on, like where we are now, is I've realized that going through that suffering, going through that difficult task of getting through to certain criteria of people has now allowed me to very, very easily communicate with the people that and the businesses and the professionals that we deal with today, and hearing no from in a polite manner now is a walk in the park. So you said this needs to fully come down.
Realistically,
Yeah.
We've been looking for an investment for a while, or?
I mean, we're constantly looking anyway.
Right.
But we're just looking to take on the Manchester market now. We've been investing in West Yorkshire quite heavily. So our team there set up, we've just opened some offices in Springfield here.
Right.
We're just looking to acquire as many sites as possible. I mean, from your understanding, what do you think would be a sensible offer to put forward for them?
It would have to start with a 3.
Okay.
Realistically, I don't think they would accept anything lower than that. Just because we've had people that have put us forward lower than that they've said no to, so we do know.
How significantly lower?
What, than 3?
Yeah.
280.
And they said no to that.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was last year.
So this specific deal that really would potentially change the face of the company and allow us to expand. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. It's been, whether it's going to happen or not, it has been quite uncertain. There's been a lot of hurdles that have come in the way, but nothing good comes easy, right? So it's been almost a year. It's been a back and forth discussion. It's almost happened a few times. Things have come up where I stopped it, and even now, although it's agreed between the two parties involved, even after that, there is still a few T's to cross and I's to dot. And even now, I'm at a point where it's been so difficult. I do believe it's going to go through, but whether it's as soon as I hope, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But regardless of this deal going through, that's not going to stop me or the Angels Investment Group from doing what we need to do in order to grow and expand. Hi mate, I'm just calling in regards to the plot of land in Cheadle that we viewed last week. What you're offering for? Just calling to see if there's an update on that. Yeah. Right. We put the offer in last week for 300,000. They've sent it over to the vendor. Now they're just waiting for feedback on that. Hopefully it gets accepted, because we could potentially have this completed within 6 to 10 months. And it's a very good project, and it's closer as well. It'd be good to take on. So the previous offers that fell through?
Yeah.
What were they at?
They were in the 4 at the time.
Right.
Yeah, but I think they put it down to about 375 now.
Okay, so with your expertise, this in the pristine condition, not with the extension or anything like that, what would it be worth?
Well, I can tell you, we just sold one where the sold sign is 2 doors down, and that's got a small kitchen extension on it. We got 435 for that.
So if this deal went through about a year ago, two, three things. First of all, I wouldn't have known what to do with it, when it actually came to the table. Secondly, at that point, to me, it was so much money that it just seemed absurd, and I don't know what it would have done to me if I took that. Now, because like I was just mentioning to you, because I continued doing what I needed to do, continuing developing myself, continuing learning how to run this business. Now when it's happened, it is almost like I'm already a level ahead of it. So the joy of it, okay, it's there. I'm glad it's gone through, but it's just a matter of looking just onto the next. I'm just trying to get to the level higher now, because we've achieved so much, and now this kind of just pushed us over the edge. Yeah, so this week has been at the point where we start to actually focus on the way we're going to expand, and it's been all over the place. That's one way to put it. But in relation to the entire month of January and the start of 2023, it was what we expected. With the way we started off the year, we started off with full force. We went straight for it, straight in there, doing what we need to do and getting getting it done. So up to the point leading to this week, we were working on a few things in order for us to give us a green light to start expanding internally within our business and increase the number of investments that we can make as an organization. So this week was ultimately absorbing the glass ceiling breaking, like I mentioned earlier this week, and it was a matter of putting all the pieces together in order to continue that flight, continue that journey. So this week has been tough. It's been very draining. It's been a consistently working. That's what it's been. We've not had any breaks. But that being said, this is what it's all about. Getting to these points and then pushing through when it gets tough, because it's the last few reps that count, not the ones that lead up to it. So the start of the, this is the first month of the year, and the last week of the year has been the most difficult and the most toughest one. So it was the last rep. That's the way I'm seeing it. So even though it's been tough, we're at the end of the week now. We're fully drained, but we're still here, and I still feel fresh because of where we're going. So I'm quite excited. I can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm ready for any challenges that are going to be thrown at me, because this week has genuinely built more resilience in me than possibly what I've built over the last couple of years. That's because it's the failures and the difficulties that allow you to learn and build that thick skin in order to continue pushing and being a better, more stable version of yourself. Don't lose momentum. I think that is very important to me. Losing momentum ultimately will just mean it'll slow things down, and I will lose my concentration. So that's something I tell myself on a day-to-day basis. Don't lose momentum, no matter how you feel. You don't feel well, you don't feel happy, you feel under the weather, you feel depressed, whatever. You can't stop. If you have a vision in mind, if there is something that you want to achieve, it's entirely up to you. You can't stay in, you can't stop, But if you have that hunger inside of you, you're not going to. But sometimes it is difficult to keep going. So the thing I tell myself for the future and even for tomorrow is just don't stop. Keep going until you can. If your body needs a break, give it a break. If your mental health needs a break, if it's something that is, it is just going to affect what you're doing in a negative way, then of course make that decision to have a little breather. But don't lose momentum. Having a day or even a couple of hours to just breathe and relax in order to be your more sufficient self is a strategic and smart thing to do, because it will, make your quality of work better. The flooring needs to be changed. There's cracks in the walls, radiators, top to bottom. But the structure seems fairly good. Beautiful. Right, perfect. I'll be in touch with them then.
Alright.
Cheers, thank you very much. One with an ensuite, one bathroom, kitchen, and I reckon that could bring you on a monthly basis somewhere in the region of £500 to £700 per calendar month per room. So 15 to £1,800 actually, because only one of them you'd be able to price high up if it was the ensuite. So £1,500 to £1,800 on a monthly basis. That's alright. That can I didn't initially think that we would be creating a documentary. I didn't necessarily want to be on camera at all, and I wanted to just create content around what we do as a business and the products and services that we provide in order to get the message out. But once we sat down and discussed what the best thing for us to do would be, creating this series was ultimately something for us rather than for anybody else, because what it will allow us to do now is reflect on our growth, whether it's now or later on down the line, being able to look back and seeing where the journey that we've been going on. So ultimately this series has really given me that has really made me feel comfortable in what I do, has really encouraged me to continue what I'm doing, because watching it back on a weekly basis really kind of gives me that satisfaction of, you know what, we are doing what needs to be done. Because that camera is always on us, we're constantly making this series, we're constantly documenting everything. It gives us that, you know, extra motivation to continue doing what we're doing. So it's the best decision, that one of the best decisions we made to start the year off, to start documenting and creating the series, and with the way it's come. So all round makes me feel great, and I'm very proud of what we've done. I hope people understand our sincerity, that we're serious about what we're doing. The most important thing for me to get across is for people to understand that we are providing a very, very high quality service. We are becoming a very prestigious brand, and we want to work with serious people. We want to work with people who are serious about growing with us and taking on the risks involved within this industry. Is ultimately for those people who are very serious about creating that long-term sustainable future for them and their families. So I really want people to understand that that's what we're about, and for those who do, I really encourage them to get in touch, even if they are a bit skeptical, even if they don't necessarily know how it works and how we can support them. I want them to look at this series, look at our day-to-day activities, and understand that no matter what the situation or circumstance is, as long as they're serious about that long-term growth, we will support them and provide them with the best quality service that they'll find anywhere. So from here, we just want to continue establishing our brand. We want to continue. We've built the foundation, right? So we're gonna build the structure above, but at the same time we need to continue developing our foundations, because the higher and bigger we go, the stronger we need to be at our core. So from here, it is about building a solid team. It is about bringing on the right partners and customers and clients, and expanding in a way where we separate from our competition. In this industry, the people who survive, the higher you go, the less players in the game. For us, it is really about building the right team and having the right people involved in our day-to-day activities, working in and on the business. So from here, it is always going to be up. We're always going to be taking a step forward. But I'm excited. I can't wait to take the risks that we need to take. But we're doing it on a day-to-day basis. There isn't a day that goes by where we don't take a risk in order to get a reward. So from here it is just forward and up, and I'm excited to learn more, I'm excited to fail more, and I'm excited to build stronger and just grow as an organization, and just live and enjoy what we do on a day-to-day basis as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.
That's everything.